Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fleet Plays Race to the North. We're back once again, and the first thing I need to do is because I looked at the last stream and we have this. An actual Great Northern locomotive. Most importantly, however, it's the ideal speed and power range to actually work the regular main line. Being only 5 miles an hour faster compared to 10 miles an hour faster than the coaches we currently have. Which makes it ideal to work these Northern Expresses. And in fact, actually, we have stock to go with it. Of course, we don't actually have the... we don't have the money, which is annoying, but we will do. So that's the plan, to eventually phase out this set of stock with a different set of stock. That is the eventual plan. But we need more money for that. Ideally, a lot more than we have, but we'll see how the things go. So, when last we left off, we had built the line out through Gainsborough, through Lincoln, through Boston, out to King's Lynn. And that was now seeing regular traffic. The Leeds line was also getting exceptionally busy indeed. It does seem like that has calmed down a little bit now. And we might end up shortening train lengths. But, first things first, this is important. To increase the speed and effectiveness of services on the East Coast Main Line, we need to make sure that it has the most effective service we can give it. And there we go. It's important that we increase the all-up train speed on the East Coast Main Line because it brings the main line closer together. Hell of a lot closer together. Although I do wish there was a way to get around Retford. I mean, we could branch off after Grantham, hook round through the freight station at Newark Sidings, given how little it's serviced, and go from there. Yeah, we could do, but it would be a bit weird. And we'll see. We shall see. I think everything and everyone's been notified. It's gone out on all of the platforms. Yes, indeed it has. Very nice. It's good to know. Very nice. It's good to know. So saith I. So you know that I am keeping track of things. And I am keeping track of things indeed. But yeah, so Doncaster is turning into a very, very busy station indeed. But with all up passenger numbers on the run to... Yeah, I might actually, given that this is also a main line, I may also replace this with GNR 6-wheel stock. Probably carrying about 63. Just simply down to the fact that we don't need that much capacity anymore. But we do need the increased speed. Oh, they don't have to look good in that, like, dark orange livery, don't they? And here we have a service coming down. There we go. Well, this is where the trains are heaviest loaded, that section between Selby and Doncaster. And then on upwards through York. And then, of course, we've got the express following on behind. If I'm not mistaken, there should be an express following behind up here as well. Yes, there he is. Running a little bit behind time, but not too much. And again, same thing here. Basically everywhere where speed of transfer matters, you need one of these trains. Oh, lovely. Luckily though, getting underway with this stock is fairly straightforward. There's a freight, and then there's a express waiting behind the freight. Have to see how we go. Although, looking at the amount of timber coming out of there... How are we doing in terms of material? Well, yeah, the main freight has just left. That's not moving steel, did I not? Yeah, we just don't have the coal. They're not shipping the coal, they're only shipping the iron ore. As annoying as it is, it's true. Which means that there being regular coal trains... Any further coal inputs will come into a direct station to deliver coal. I already spent too long building that bloody thing, so I'm not tearing up the entire station just for the hell of it. No way. But what I can do is filter coal, any other coal deliveries directly into a special coal station. It's quite clear that iron ore is something that those other lines are very familiar with transporting. Whereas what we can do is we can transship any coal directly. Oh, that's rusty track. We don't want that. No, no rusty track. Rusty track is bad. There we go. There we go. So what we will do... Actually, what I might do... You should... Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Going there to there. Wait a minute. Have I just... You can't carry steel, can you? No, you can't. That's why you're not moving any steel, because you can't carry any steel. Oh, aren't we silly, fleet? Aren't we silly? Yes, is the answer to that question. Yes, we absolutely are. We are very silly. Indeed. Luckily, though, now that there's an out route for steel, yep, steel should be, yep, there we go. Now steel is being created. So now we need to input. Oh, I'm going to assume that is 6 o'clock. Indeed it is. Haha! So the plan now is to funnel yet more coal into... Oh, we may as well route it through one junction. There we go. And then that means there's another line for coal. Which is very nice indeed, because coal is very important. Don't we all like coal? Coal's good for the soul. Oh, a slower engine, but makes less emissions. That's no good for the... Well, it's no good for the other... Actually, it might be good for the slightly slower routes, the branch lines, maybe. There we go. And there we go. Unleash the coal. Well, more coal anyway. There we go. And again, I think I am gonna replace the Scarborough to Hull and the Hull to Scarborough trains with these new Glen Sternocks, because again, increasing the speed at which these trains move is actually a pretty good idea, since they provide the connection to the main line. And they provide a vital bridge line, through which a heck of a lot of other traffic flows. Well, there's literally only so much throughput we can do. Yeah, I can't do much more throughput than I am doing, sadly. But hey. Actually, there is something. Ah, Scarborough Station. Station by the seaside. Oh, we do love to be beside the sea at Scarborough. Yes, indeed we do. Anyway, well that's okay. Some steel is actually now arriving here to be picked up by the freight. Oh, and now we can get rid of all of our debt, which is very nice. Very good indeed. Right, okay. So, the Leeds Loop. That's fine. We've still got enough people aboard that we can actually move those people. That's fine. There should be 2 express trains following behind the... Yeah, there's usually one that's a little bit late coming down south. That's fine, though. It's not a problem. Still, that tools is still the most profitable thing on the network, closely followed by the 3 of the major passenger lines. And then the coal trains from Hull to Scarborough. Wow. Wow, that is not a lot of coal. I was expecting more coal. Okay. Alright, so... Who else needs steel? Well, I could do a long-distance log train up here. Sorry, lumber train up to Middleton Machines Factory. But I really work with the network I've got. I mean, this is just massively inefficient. That's what this is. Yeah, I think I need to bite the bullet and accept that, yeah, no, we need to, yeah, no, you go to Scarborough Central. That's where you go. And you tie in with the other coal trains, and that's what you do, because we can't, and that leaves that whole thing just purely to move. Hang on. What if, because that would increase throughput, wouldn't it? Yeah, what if we go, so we go Upper Scarborough, Scarborough Exchange, then back to Upper Scarborough, and then back to Scarborough Exchange. But on the second run through Upper Scarborough, you use the other, yeah, there you go, you use the other platform there, because now what you can do is we can load 2 sets at the same time, because that's the thing, it's the station throughput, not the drop-off throughput. That's what's really causing us issues. And again, we can do the same thing at this end as well. We can have 2 drop-offs, 2 put-downs, and then that's how you do it. Yeah, that's how you do it. So gradually, that should increase throughput dramatically. Why didn't I think of that anywhere? Why did I never think of that before? Feels like such a simple thing, and yet that's the only problem. Coal train's waiting on the main line for clearance. That be the only problem. Well, one of a few problems that we're having. But, well, hey-ho, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. We can now store lots more things. And there's actually a significant amount of steel that is awaiting to be loaded onto the steel train, which is very good indeed. It's just coal that we don't have. Okay, oh, that's annoying. He's pipped the express at the post. That's really not good. Right, okay. I'm going to lose the oil. Well, that's okay. That's not really too much of an issue. Can't really do much about that. But... actually, no. Maybe there is something we can do about that. A nice long oil run out to the oil terminal on the coast. Near... Yeah. That could actually be made to work, yeah. Yeah, that could actually be made to not only work, but work very well indeed. There we go. We'll pause it so we don't lose the thing, and then the train comes through here, crosses over onto the freight only line. which we will alter the signal for. Then it parallels it for a bit before branching off to make its own path towards its final destination. This is the way I do things. I don't really tie freight together in the way a lot of people do in a centrally planned way. I just kind of bodge the network together, basically. But the bodging is coming along quite nicely. And we can get the what would I get the locomotives for? And then we can send the resulting things up here to the plastics factory. The plastics can feed into here, which we can then also feed steel into, which then means we can then start sending goods out and around, which is huge. But yeah, so cross those bridges when we come to it. First things first, let's deal with getting this set up. So like I say, things can be rebuilt and redone as and when needed, and for now we just need a depot here so as to not clog up any other traffic. And this is going to need to be, I think, a very big double-headed freight train, just because of what I'm going to expect it to do. So we're going to need two 042 tender engines, and then we're going to need a full, because it is a liquids train, liquids trains, you need double brake vans either end, because it is a liquids train. There we go. And then timetable. So Thirsk, unbunch, click, click off, click on, because that means it's locked in. Good. And that industry is now no longer going to close. Liquids moved by rail. There we go, that helps that. Yeah, we're going to need to increase the length. Oh, yeah, we absolutely need to move more coal. Even if the other ones are picking up the slack, we need to accept that, I'm sorry, we need to move very long, heavy coal trains, and we can't just sit here, put our fingers in our ears and go, no, we don't need to do that. No, we absolutely do need to do that. Like, that is just... that's what needs to happen. And we can't ignore it. Lots of long, heavy trains carrying lots and lots of coal. Because the alternative is not doing that. And that's not really on the table, given that I really am investing now in the production of the steel mills in the Scarborough Valley. In a way I wasn't before. God, those signals should not be there. Jiminy Christmas, they should not. Yeah, those intermediates should absolutely not be there. No wonder we've had so many delays for passenger trains passing through that region. But also there needs to be a clear-off signal immediately after the junction in both directions. And there we are. Now the Scarborough coal trains will pull the amount of coal they're supposed to have. Excellent. Look at that. That is a proper coal train. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be a minor problem, I reckon. We'll see. Oh, luckily. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the way. Oh, that's the other problem now at this end, is that we don't have two sets of wagons going through. They're just they're all on the same schedule. So I've not really gained anything. Oh, that's really annoying. That's really, really annoying. But yeah, it's not really. I'd need to alternate them between stops, and I ain't gonna get that. Because they're all gonna end up bunched together. Ah, fiddlesticks. Never mind, he says. Never mind. Right, okay, carry on. So, where were we? So I was busy looking at them. I mean, these do have straight line speed for the certain longer sections, like here, out towards Darlington. And the little quaint branch lines out towards Bishop's Auckland and out towards Morpeth. Excuse me. But it's out here once you get past Newcastle that they really come into their own. These sort of long, sweeping sections of straight track where their 55-mile-an-hour top speed really does start to play into making this service viable as a regional connection. Because of how long it would take with speeds less than that to actually do the run properly. It's really not ideal for anyone. So, yeah, don't do it. But yeah, so that's that. I need to actually look into a few things now. First of all, is a line out to Harwick and then through to Hexham. Now that would be an exceptionally long journey with not much profit margin in it, but I am tempted by the prospect because it would be a nice sort of Highland railway to build. And it would be kind of nice to actually have. In regards to some of the other things we're doing. So I think, yeah, so you are filling up with all of the petroleum products that this place has. Yes, you have. Good. And you should be down that line. Yeah, you are. You are nearly at the end of track, which is excellent. And I need to dramatically increase the amount of signals on the whole line, because otherwise we're just not gonna have the amount of distance between the trains that we need to push the amount of traffic down this branch line as we're gonna have. It's just not gonna be enough. There we go. That'll do. So Selby has its passengers. Let's actually take a trip down towards London. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, there should be an express train bound for London not too far out. If I'm correct, yes, it's held behind the, not the first service in line, the second. It always is. And the amount of steel that's been worked by this train is growing. Luckily, because of the way things are set up, we can in fact ship machines into York fairly simply. We just need to figure out where in York actually requires machines. It's over here. And then we build a machinery drop-off position. There we go. And now we can ship machines into York. About 30 such should be enough, I think, given that it is a direct line and not anything requiring any transfers or anything like that. There we go. So and the Cramptons have made the circular work really quite well indeed. It's not profitable because of the cost of running them, but it does mean that the passengers flow around like they need to make a line like the circular work. Skipton. There's a line out to Kirby Stephen. I mean, look at it. Kirby Stephen's just isolated in the middle of nowhere. But we still serve it with a reliable train connection, so that passengers can catch trains from Darlington to other places. There we go. Oh, hello, GWR. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, sorry, I was so focused on what I was doing, I kind of missed your arrival there. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Okay, so let's have a look. Where are we? So we've got that going out there. How's the loaded rake actually? Okay, it's not making as good progress as the unloaded one, but it's still got a good turn of speed behind it. Everything's going reasonably okay. However, I am going to look at both of the lumber trains, and I'm going to go, yeah, you two. I'm looking at what we're dealing with in terms of actual ability to move things, and yeah, I'm sorry, but we need more logs than you are actually shifting. What are we currently looking at? 160? Yeah, you need to be able to move 200. Easily. That's just not up for debate. And you need to be able to move it quicker. Ah, trains are waiting. They can't really be helped. It's a busy network. Trains will wait, and it's what trains do. Luckily, I don't think there's anything behind him. Well, there is, but he can wait like a second while the irregular freight comes through. And clears off the whole branch. Onto the main line at Selby. There we go. Then that signal will lift. Well, it should... Oh, it's not had the correct thing done to it. Yeah, sorry. I built that inbound freight line so that trains wouldn't have to wait on the main line. Come on, lift the... There we go. Lift the signal. There we are. There you go. Come on, move up, move up, move up. Come on, Jeff. Open the regulator. Get the train going. You got nearly 700 tons of oil. Get it moving, get it moving. Go. Okay, so how are we doing? So we have some stuff for Leeds, but I don't think there's any through traffic. I have to see how this train does. There is some through traffic to Leeds, that's very clear, but wow. Okay, everything's going reasonably alright. How is the line to King's Cross actually running? That's doing okay. No problems at all. And you come up to the, and you've got the overtake, where the Crampton Expresses actually overtake, where they plunge into the tunnel, into Stevenage Tunnel. And then it is, unfortunately, double track all the way, so there is no overtaking after Stevenage. So, unfortunately, the Express will be following the, local regional service all the way into London King's Cross. Although I am probably going to invest in much better signalling. If my bank balance can afford it. If my bank balance can afford it. Yeah, well, that's the rub, isn't it? Go and then make sure we've got much closer signalling all the way up to London, because if and we don't, we're going to have problems. And London itself is served by a vast network of omnibuses which feed all the people of the capital into King's Cross Station. And from thence, points north. Enfield, through some platforms at Stevenage, over then the tunnel through to Bedford. Oh, we can do that. So we'll have that be this set of tracks here, which is fine. So this will be a... we'll treat it as a regional line, so it will have the full 320 length platforms. So through here, then into two new platforms at Stevenage. we go. Then a station stop in Bedford, and that is where we shall call that. Oh, there we go, it appears. So we'll start from the rear and work forwards. So straight through the Bedford Hills with a tunnel. Then we've got to dig in for the climb because we've got to get over. We get over the summit, up over the Bedford Moors to go over the main line underneath us. Then roughly stay atop the moors. So you come up, and then you hook sort of left-ish. Like that, and then boom. You're on your way towards Bedford. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And a brand new iron-framed bridge as well. Perfect. And then from Stevenage, we go down on a fairly sharp gradient. And then we come round. And round again. Like that. Fairly straightforward. And then up through there. Nice. Very good. Very good. And the final piece of the puzzle is the actual in route to London. Beautiful. Punching right out through those little hillocks north of London. Rather than the slog the East Coast Main Line trains have to do when they leave London King's Cross. Stop it. There we go. Perfect. And then same thing again, so place the signals. Make sure everything is in place as it should be. Very nice. And the only town that we need to actually work on is Bedford, because it's the only town we haven't... Sorry, Bedford and Enfield. I don't know if there's anywhere else for the main line to go. Not really. I might link it back into Huntingdon. Maybe. We'll see. But the important thing was to get the line out to this point built. Because then that's a vital link in fleshing out the railway system here in the south. Now from Enfield there will be a line that runs out through Bishop Storting to Cambridge as well. And that may end up back in Huntingdon or Peterborough, but we'll see. We will see. I might actually have that start in Hatfield as a branch. Yeah, actually, I think I will. I'll have a 160 branch. Basically, if we're doing a branch line, we have the trains as 3 platform lengths rather than 6, so 160. So we'll start out here, come into a pair of small platforms at Hatfield, then hook back across ourselves to Bishop Storting, and then into Cambridge, and then finish up at a single bay platform at Huntingdon after diving under a subway to go under the main line. That's what we'll do for that. Okay, now excuse me just a second, chaps. I will be back. Thank you for being patient. Right, so work this line with normal passenger stock, as we usually do. These 55-mile-an-hour GNR locomotives are proving very, very, very useful indeed. I can't believe I forgot they existed. Just so damn useful. Right. So as per usual, get the buses set up first, because once they're set up, you're golden. And then everything and then this should feed more stuff into the north-south line, which will make that even more profitable as well. So, buses. Okay, so start with a big bus station, then into here, then, as usual, point to the compass, you go out that way, then you go that way, then you go that way, and then you get back to the start there. So, there we go. So, bosh, bish, bish, bosh, bash, bish, bish, bosh. And we've got 8 of them. Very nice indeed. And schwash, bish, bash, bosh. And then the final thing we need is the Bedford buses. All that rhymes. The Bedford buses. Very nice. So go out here. Then you go 1, 2. And then you go, same thing, point to a compass. So you go out that way. Then you go that way. Then you end up that way. And again, same thing. Road depot. And let's see where we end up in terms of numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 buses. Well, buses, coaches, you know what I mean. Road vehicles that move passengers. 9 of those. Kill me now. Oh dear, my comedy's not improved over the years, I tell you. And the final thing we want is the new main line. So starting from London King's Cross, out through Enfield, through Stevenage, through Bedford, then back through Stevenage, through Enfield. Lovely. 6 trains, 6 stops, sorted. Lovely. So we need 13 million to get the line operational fully. That's fine. Knowing how my company works, we should easily accrue 13 million. Cash flows through the roof, especially with the new longer oil trains and the new longer coal trains that we're running. And especially with oil deliveries from Hull picking up on both coal deliveries from Hull picking up on both lines. Speaking of, where is the... Oh, there it is. And we got the first proper full big oil delivery to Hull picking up as well. So we'll see how much that makes. Sweet Jiminy Christmas, that was enough to actually get things going. My God. Okay, so as per usual, standard fare applies. You go here, you bosh this, you bosh this, you click that, you click off, you click on, job done. And that is the new secondary network. Well, new secondary line. It's not a branch line as some of the other ones are, but it's definitely not one of it's definitely a very short main line. And it gives somewhere for Londoners to go. They can now reach even more destinations. Like Enfield. Oh, they don't want to go to Enfield. Oh, they do. They do want to go to Enfield. Perfect. Loud buggers those locomotives are. Very loud. Yeah, not going to zoom in on that until they're all out and away. Because good lord, that is loud. There we go. Flip over there like that. Jolly good. Ah. I mean, Enfield, the people of Enfield can now travel to all the destinations they want to go to. Like, that's pretty huge. Like, that is going to really encourage growth. And then Stevenage, which now has even more places it can go. And Bedford, which has even more. You'll love to see it. And there they go. And now, what I can do is, now that train has left, I can then go in here and go, right, okay. Let's actually start work on the next secondary line. So... and bish, bash, bosh. And that's there, and then it hooks back over itself to serve Bishop Stanford. There we go. And then it runs on to Cambridge. And then it finally... comes up here at Cambridge. And so the first thing we do is we say, right, down you go. Perfect. Hang on, no, not the... Perfect. I was just about right. You can actually get the train in and out of Cambridge that way. Only just, mark you. Gee, that was a close run thing, but yes, you can just about do it. That was close. A hell of a lot closer to the mark than I would have liked. But it was doable. So the new branch line is a go. It's all part of connecting everything. How much would it take to actually... There we go. Oh, that's fairly straightforward. It keeps the gradient gradual, which is good since I have money to burn. And it'll make things easier in future. There we are. Lovely. Perfect. Fantastic. And then we go right. This is where the line really does start to take on the whole provincial network style of existence. And then we bridge over the current line. with a grey brickwork viaduct. And then that links in there like that. And there we go. Look at that. That's lovely. Perfect. And that hooks around there into there like that. Look at that. Lovely. And now, of course, we have a very sharp decline. As our track work descends very sharply down to its terminus. And there you are. And that is the other new branch line that we've just built. Lovely jubbly. Okay, let's get it signalled. I'll probably have the train start from Cambridge, because that's where we've currently not got we've got no service coming south from Cambridge via any other route than the main line to London. So if there is to be another route south to London, it should start from Cambridge. Because, well, that's really only fair. There we go. Nope. Other way, please. Thank you. There we go. Right. Okay. So, I'm really quite pleased with that. That really does make the bottom end of the map look lived in. The next thing to do is to extend the other main line from King's Lynn through Bury St Edmunds and into Harwich. And then run a Harwich to London Fast Express into the remaining 2 platforms of London King's Cross. Actually, no, into Ipswich. And they'll have an Ipswich-Harwich fast commuter train that will bounce between the 2 of them to link the 2 different ends of the main line. We'll see. We'll see how we go. Maybe. Anyway, finish the task at hand. Don't get sidetracked. Finish the task at hand. Come on. Get on with it. Half a job, bloody fleet, honestly. I'm like. So yeah, 1 that side. 1 that side. And then we continue down there, like that. And then 1 down there. But we have our start here. There we go. As per usual. Bus, line, bosh, 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 bang, 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 bang. Oh, a 10. 10 buses. 10. 10 is a good number. I like 10. 10 is a very good number. I like 10. Yee. And that would be, that. So we are working our way down through the things again, which is good, because that means I know exactly where I am. Good. Okay, off you go. And then Bishop Stanford! Which I think is the only, yeah, it's the only, I need to do 2, because the other one, Huntingdon, is stored, and Enfield and Hatfield are already served. It's just down here that I need to. So yeah, that covers that end, so we don't have to go down that end. So it's literally just down here, up here, up there, like that. And then we will have 1 down there just because that means we've served everywhere. And it leaves me without too much of a problem when it comes to expanding the bus network in future which is fine. He hopes. Maybe. And that's also 10. That's also 10 buses. Again, like 10. 10 is the magic number. 10 is the magic number. That is the number that we apparently like, I guess. Which is fine. That there is nothing wrong with the number 10. 10 is a nice number. So then let's actually build the new main line. So starts at Huntingdon, goes to Cambridge, then Bishop Storting, then Hatfield, then Enfield, then Hatfield, then Bishop Storting, then Cambridge, and then back into Huntingdon. And that is 8 stops, so we need 8 trains. That is fine. We can absolutely provide that. Good old reliable the Sturrocks, which are very nice to have. They make doing a lot of these secondary lines very, very easy to do. And I'm very glad we've got the cash reserves we do have, because it means I can get it set up and get it going right now with little to no delay. As per usual, same thing. So we go Huntingdon, and we unbunch. Then we go Enfield, and we unbunch. Then we click this little tick, and we click off, and we click on, and boom, bada bing. And see, that's why we check, because occasionally it doesn't save. And that is exactly why we check. So where are we? Where are we? Regional passenger train. Look for... Oh, there we are. Yep, so there we go. So unbunch, and then bish, bash, bosh. Job's a good one. And why are you stopped? What is the problem? What is the problem? Why can't you go? Why can't you go? You can come out. Yeah, so out through Cambridge. So Cambridge. Oh, the platforms are all arranged the wrong way around. Hang on. I think. Yeah, they are. And Hatfield should be platform 3, not 4. And then so Hatfield is 4. Bishop Storting is 1. And Cambridge is 1. And that should... Yeah, there we go. That's fixed it. Now the tracks are all set up the right way. There we go. Oh, I like that green. That's a lovely green. It's a very nice green. There we go. Come on. Oh, good lord, that noise. Jesus. Jiminy Christmas. I mean, good lord. But yeah, so there we go. That is 2 new secondary lines set up, and I do love how it makes the map feel lived in a lot more. I like building railways kind of just because it makes the map feel lived in, especially intercity and local railways. It really does make the map feel lived in like a major way. Which I'm absolutely fine with. Londoners can now go to 1,000 destinations. Like, it's huge. There we go. Digging into the sort of long bank under the hills towards Bishop Stortford. I'm very pleased with that. That's really come together quite nice, that whole southern end. Oh yes, I remember now. There was also supposed to be a new branch line down here. Yes, there was. Thank you for the reminder. Well, I don't know who I'm thanking. I'm just thanking myself for noticing, I guess. Then Then we have stop there. And then finally it runs into a quaint little... Oh, okay. Never mind. A quaint little... Yeah, why not? Oh, excuse me. That was very strange indeed. Anyway, there we are. So let's get that built, shall we? Nice little coastal railway. Like, eventually there will be different... Oh, I like that. Like a little nice curve out along the coast. Lovely. Now, I am also building these lines to facilitate access to freight. Because eventually I do hope to tap a lot of these freight industries. And start moving some of the goods that they actually provide access to. But for now... we're looking at... simply just building up the passenger infrastructure so that we've got it. This is basically in preparation for... because the faster our trains get, the more realistic it becomes for passengers to transfer from service to service and then use other parts of the network that they may otherwise not have thought themselves easily accessible to. Especially as the express trains get faster. The problem is, of course, the crowded inner city section from York to Selby. Basically, Doncaster through Selby, through York, through Thirsk is by far and away the busiest section of track anywhere on the network. And that's something we will have to deal with at some point. But we'll deal with it, I'm sure. Anyway. So there we go. Do that. Oh, a bear. Hello there, bear. Roaring. Idle. Get off the rails. Go on. Shoo. Shoo. Shoo, please. Thank you. Right, anyway. Excuse me. Bosh. 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 Thank you. Bish, bash, bosh. Well, look at that. Perfect. There we go. Lovely. Perfect. Hang on. There we go. Again, finish the task. Finish the task. Okay, so here we go. Right. Okely dokely, he says. No. I want to go that way. Thank you. And spin. Perfect. And now all I need to do is build a little bus route in Skegness. Who wants to go to Skeggy for their holidays? Only someone from the north of England will get that joke. If you do, more power to you. Anyway, Yorkshire-themed joking aside, let's get into the construction. And profits really are now starting to take off to the moon. We've actually reached that phase where our ability to make profits has outstripped any ability where we're going to actually lose money. You have that point in any Transport Fever game where your profits go to the moon, and that's about the long and the short of it. And that's seemingly where we have reached now, which I am absolutely fine with. Anyway, so, now then. Next thing to do is to build the line... Oh, not build, sorry. Schedule the line out to Grimsby. There we go. Perfect. Same thing as usual. One of these sturrocks. And about 4 passenger coaches. 4 of them. There we go. Timetable it again. So here we go. Down here, unknown. Unbunch. No, but both of them, please. Thank you. Unbunch. Click. Click off. Click on. Click off. Click on. Job done. There we go. And that then hopefully provides a link to the... Oh, actually, we might have to provide a new bus service that links into these new suburban housing and work districts. That have clearly been built in Grimsby since I was... Sorry. Yeah, in Grimsby since I was last here. There we go. And 6 additional buses are probably going to be required. There we go. And then the other thing I'm probably going to need is I'm going to need to build a new... line to actually link to the ferry terminal, same as there has been at the other side in Hull. It's basically about providing a fast, direct service between the ferry terminal and the train station, which, as per in Hull, will be provided by trams. There we go. So if we build a tram line, of which this is actually the second. It also helps alleviate some of the strain on the bus network, which is fine. So that's 10 trams we need. That's fine, and 10 trams is what we shall have. It's quite funny that both tram lines that we actually have are either side of the only ferry crossing we actually have. And both serve as a link between the train station and the ferry terminal. In fact, given the way in which passenger numbers are actually going up now that... Wait, are we actually getting through traffic now reliably because of the speed of the train? Oh my god, we are! Because of the speed of the trains, we're actually getting through traffic to the ferry. That is massive. That's huge. And it means that the ferries are becoming more and more profitable as well, which you do love to see. Have we got any better ferries yet? Oh, we've got the Clippers. We have the Clippers. Yeah. Okay. I can't believe I forgot we had the Clippers. Yeah, we need the Clippers. Oh, small harbour. Can we refit the harbours? Is that something we can do? I mean, I don't see why not. Then a big passenger landing, given that there's not much in the way to stop it. There we go. And then same thing here. No, other one, please. Thank you. And there we go. Perfect. Perfect. And that makes them significantly faster. And will dramatically increase the throughput on these lines because, well, they are significantly faster than the ferries they replace, which make the interchange service not only even more viable than it was before, but even more viable than that. Especially now with service links provided by a railway on the other end, which, if you look, instead of travelling from Hull into Selby down to Doncaster and then changing to get to Boston, it might actually be quicker to go to Hull Port via the Clipper, change to a tram, and then take that tram across to board the train at Grimsby Station, and then shoot down the new coastline through Skegness to Boston. I'm thinking a very similar thing here at Scarborough. Oh, that's a shame. Actually, if I go down there, I can actually build a... Oh. Oh, that's a... Oh. Oh, my. Oh, hello. That's interesting. Didn't know I could do that. Anyway, so... anyway, tiny street. Little tiny street with no tram track. It's basically a pedestrian footpath, basically. Its whole job is to link the... Oh, that will do, actually. That will do. Because that's literally all it has to do. And then from there, if you want to get to Saltburn, you board the Clipper. And the Clipper takes you up the coast. Saltburn. which is a jolly day out, if ever there was one. Because don't we all love a jolly day out? Well, I do. But everyone suits themselves. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And then again, same thing. Compass points always matter when you are doing bus routes, because what it means is the buses do not cross over each other, which is massively important. There we go. Now, that is a bit of a long ferry route, but because we have the clippers to actually make that journey, they're fast enough that that will actually be attractive. And also because they're clippers, it'll be cheap enough that that is actually attractive enough that the people will actually want to take that journey. We go. And there we are. So, again, with ferries, it's very important that you unbunch at both ends. You absolutely have to ensure that they run exactly to time and exactly paired apart. It's so important. There we go. So that's another ferry route done. And oh boy, aren't we just the better for it. I do like putting in these sort of transfers and things like that. And also, direct link to the station is huge, because that means that passengers can transfer straight off the ferry and walk straight into Scarborough Railway Station, which is massive. That's massive. That's huge. I've got more soft drinks because I have to have more soft drinks to get through the last 2 years of 1850. Because we will get through the last 2 years of 1850, you mark my words. Yes, indeed. Let's check our balance. We're actually on our way northwards now. Value is through the roof. How many miles of track have we laid? We've laid 378,000 kilometers of track, of which 24 kilometers are bridges and 32 kilometers are tunnels. We transported 144,000 passengers, which is just massive. And we've only been going for 40 years. It'll be since we started in 1820. And that's actually about the time it would have taken to build the network we've actually built. And it was built in a similar way to the way we built it. Main lines came first, then the branch lines and other routes followed. Actually, yeah, I'm going to actually build another main line that'll stub end into the other one at Bedford. And that will be the link into Sheffield, one of the links into Sheffield. And then I'll run an express train through from Sheffield to London. To provide a link that way. But not right now. I want to just check on every other part of the network and see that everything else is running as smoothly as it should be. Does look like it. Yep, looks like it for now. The crossovers are working as intended. Everything is going all right. Let me just check our company profits. Yeah, the passenger trains are actually doing really, really, really well. Like, seriously well. And thing is, it's consistent profit as well, which is kind of what matters. Oh, my lord. Okay, yeah, York, you need double-decker omnibuses. Like, the number of passengers you are moving, you need it. Like, I'm sorry, you need it. How are our vehicles anyway? Is there anything that is in very bad condition? Okay, so the planks trucks are in bad condition. Let's get them replaced. The grain trucks are in bad condition. Let's get them replaced. Okay, the iron ore I'm not surprised. The iron ore trucks haven't been replaced in ages, so yeah, they should definitely be replaced. Okay, the food trucks. The food trucks are in bad condition, but that's fine. They can be replaced. The other food trucks, again, the same thing. They can be replaced. And then we want these buses. You don't really carry that many people, it looks like, so we're going to downgrade you to stagecoaches. Again, you don't seem to carry that many people, stagecoaches. The tools trucks, yeah, okay, you definitely need to be upgraded. Well, not upgraded, sorry, replaced. Oh yeah, you need to be replaced. Again, you're not carrying that many people, so yeah, you are not carrying that many people. Yeah, you're not carrying that many people. This is where I go when I look and I say, yeah, you're not carrying that many people, which is, you don't need to be that level of... You are actually going to get replaced with omnibuses again, because you are carrying that many people. So are you. So you are definitely going to get omnibus replacement. You're not. So you are going to get stagecoach replacement. You are close enough to the margin that I'm going to keep you as you are. Yeah, you are over the margin, so you are going to keep your omnibuses. You're close enough to the margin. You're going to keep your omnibuses. Oh god, you're nowhere near. You're nowhere near at all. Okay, you're over the margin. You're keeping your omnibuses. Yep, so are you. And the rest are just bad, so that's fine. It's only when they're very bad they need replacing. There we go. Perfect. Carry on. It's Thirsk. Oh, we're transporting all of the steel, which is good. But I really would wish we had some freight trams. Something that could move more product per shipment. Yeah, the poor old train schedule's completely shattered. Halfway to hell and back. Not too bad, though. Yeah, it's iron ore we don't have now. There we go. Right, I'm going to have to do this manually, but if I do it manually, this should dramatically increase. I just need a few. Just a few. Just so that we can break up this massively long line. So that some of them are actually going to go and, you know... Okay, the steel train is now at a point where it is... Yeah, that is, yeah, that's... Yeah, that's... Okay, you... That's good. That's very good. I'm very pleased with the way things are turning out. Very nice indeed. There we go. At Skegness. The trams are actually working now. Very nicely indeed. The clippers are moving people up and down. This is good. And I think there are actually a few people who do want to use the ferry to and from Saltburn. It's alright. When the ferries get faster, there'll be more demand. But it's just, they kind of needed to have it. Because building a railway through that, A, hell, B, and also, yeah, just no, not really doing that. And also, it's more thematic to have a ferry for this little bit. Since I guarantee you the amount of people who will be going through there would be very lightly travelled. I mean, I could do a ferry service along this entire section. It would be fairly funny. Get a chain of ferry routes along the entire length of the seafront. I could do. I do want to keep a track of things though. Okay, so to and from Skipton. How are we going to do this? So if I do down this valley here, and then gradually climb up and through here, we could link into Leeds, and then anyone who wants to travel further can then take a direct service to Bradford or Wakefield or wherever. Maybe I can do a run into. Oh yeah, I could serve. I could have two Skipton stations if I'm honest. One facing that way and one facing that way. It'd be a bit weird, but it definitely could work. Maybe. Maybe. Not sure, though. One of those things where I'm sat there going, maybe. Okay. Good lord, the amount of oil. Okay, let's look into making that happen. Because at least then that's done. Oh, it does just occur to me that I've been running these trains over these bridges and... it's been limiting the Crampton's top speed. How did I forget that? How did I forget that? I don't... It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just correct it and move on. There we go. Oh dear, poor Berwick-on-Tweed coal mine. What a shame. There we go. And then down there, into the valley. Like that, and then along the valley floor. Like that. we go. Perfect. Okay, we need a little bit less. There we go. They cleared out. Fantastic. And then we want to put tracks in. So, bang, bang, bang. Job's a good one. And then we want to go right and down because we have to. I don't usually like using such sharp curvature, but I don't really have a choice. There we go. Perfect. Fantastic. Beautiful. Lovely. Perfect. There we go. And then down here like this. Beautiful. Absolutely first class. And then that literally merges in like that. Boom. Absolutely perfect. And then same thing here. So train starts from here. And then it begins its descent into the valley. Little tunnel there because it does feel a little bit thematic to just cut that off without no sense. And then through there into the valley. Then down there like that. And then through there. Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. I love it. That is just great. Lovely. That is lovely. That is really, really nice. Perfect. And because I'm not expecting any traffic on here other than the two trains that will handle the freight, sorry, not freight, sorry, the passengers, I can literally just afford to make it 2 signals and just handle it that way. What it does mean, though, is it means that Skipton has to be treated a little bit differently than a normal out and back because of the way it is. So, start here, you go out, 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 out. It'll do. It's fine. Eight. There we go. With that, and then put those buses to work. And now we can actually put the first rail route to work here. So, oh, black. Very nice. Black is very nice. It's very in vogue. Oh, I'm very funny. In vogue. There we go. So again, oh, nice. And well, there we go. And now we're actually back to where we started in terms of line colors. There we go. And then assign that to the new line. Swoosh. There we go. And then same thing as before, so... And because of how sensitive this will be to timing, so there we go, undo that. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war, bang, bosh, done. And then we need the depot here. These are the sort of lines that I would use narrow gauge for, but we're actually too early for narrow gauge. So, for now, they are standard gauge. And will probably remain worked by standard gauge rolling stock in totality. Basically. Perfect. And there we go. Do that, do that. And then same thing again, so... Perfect. Perfect, look at that. Again, these are a lot of the routes that we work by diesel rail cars in future. When we get to that, but we are well short of anything other than the steam locomotive at this point. Like, well short. And there goes the express. Which still makes a ton of money. And here comes the local service. There we go. What this basically does, it means people from Huddersfield can travel to Skipton, etc., and vice versa. Perfect. It links those stations to the network. Beautiful. That feeds yet more passengers into the conurbation that is Leeds Central Station. Good lord. Look at the size of the place now. It's huge. They're all growing. There's still the stubborn main line I need to build as well, but we'll get to that in a bit. I'm kind of just looking forward to seeing out the 1850s. And then takes on passengers for the final slog up the hill from Doncaster to Leeds. Well, the number of people using the ferry have flattened out, which is fine. And there's the arrival from the branch line. You'll love to see it. Right. Away we go on a land of clippers. With the most flexible rudder you have ever seen. Are we not? Oh, we're not. We are not actually dealing with the amount of traffic. We need more. We need more coaches. If we need more coaches, we shall have more coaches. There we go. We need more coaches. We don't have enough. There we go. Perfect. Things are running reasonably all right. Let me kick that up there. Where's the nearest refinery to us? That's what I've got to know. Where's the nearest oil refinery? That's the oil refinery. Where's the... Okay, so there's a fuel refinery near Lesford. There's a chemical plant near Retford, which is... And one near York. So, fuel refinery. There's one near Bedford. One near Bury St Edmunds. There's another near Bedford. One near Peterborough. Yeah, the closest one is actually the one at Leicester, funnily enough. That means I'd have to come all the way down here. Yeah, that's... Yeah, all the fuel refineries in the south. That's very interesting indeed. We'll have to... I think there were some up here, actually, but they unfortunately did not survive the pre-industry era. Yep, that's why we check. There we go. Perfect. Move more steel, make more money. That's the way. I mean, York is really growing now. It's food it doesn't have. Are the food trains just not moving enough food? Wait, how are you moving machines? Machines being picked up at York. What the hell? That wasn't part of the plan, but I guess that's part of the operating procedures now. It's fine. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. I may need to consider a new local train between Doncaster, Selby, and York, just to take the pressure off the mainline expresses. Well, no, I can't really do that because there's no paths for it. It would need to be something slower than the average speed of the expresses, but much quicker off the mark than them. I can't really think of what I could possibly put into that bracket. There'll be something. I should probably build that branch line to Harrogate now that I think about it. There is a spare platform at Leeds. And then that little line could end in another platform at Thirsk, which would then link Leeds to the northbound main line via Harrogate. Well, That could work really well, actually. That could really work quite well indeed. Now that I'm thinking about it. But I need to clear these trains away from the... Oh, wait. Oh, there's nothing to get confused over. So, actually, yeah, I can do that. Go. It's nice to actually see the network come together as you do finish, like, building these things. I got more footbridges, and then more overhead canopies. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll have a train station in Harrogate. Perfect. Lovely. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. I'm going to go for a medium bricker. Oh, I like that. That is very nice. That is very nice. That is a very nice bit of viaduct. Oh, yes. Very nice. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so then we come... can we go down to the right without losing too much speed? Just about. That'll be something we'll have to deal with later, but it does preserve our ability to actually serve that industry without completely tying our hands, which I am absolutely fine with. Yep, there we go. Perfect. It's amazing how well that actually slotted together. And yeah, I'm going to make it a new main line rather than attaching it to the existing one. Basically down to the premise that, and I'm actually going to, what I'm doing, I'm going to move the platform at Leeds that these trains use from platform 5 to platform 4. Because then that gives me that platform for that, which means I don't have to build any new point work at Leeds Station, which is something I am very keen on. Perfect. Love it. Now, this line may see freight traffic in future, so it needs to be signalled properly. Because I have no idea if it will or won't see freight traffic, so signal it as though it will. Lovely jubbly. And then we... So do that there, do that there. There we go. And then same thing, so out this way. Then... Perfect. And then bus me. This is going to be a lot of buses. And the colour is exactly the same as the road, so I have no idea where the bus route is going. Yay. What a lovely grey colour that is. I can't see shit. Oh, that's not going to be confusing at all, is it? Surely not. There we go. So unbunch at both ends, because that kind of does matter. At both ends, please, chaps. Thank you. And then bish, bash, bosh. Bish, bash, bosh. And then provides another crucial link. However, there are parts of Leeds that we are not serving. So, We have buses that go around that way, so let's have a bus that goes around anti-clockwise. Yes, let us do that. What a great idea that will be. Bish, bash, bish, bish, bosh, bash, bish, bishy bosh. Beautiful. Absolutely first class, as they say. 10 out of 10 would bish, bash, bosh the bus again. And now we're on that colour. Perfect. Oh, a coal mine near Leeds. That's pretty handy, actually. Wow, the Leeds loop lines are making money now. They're actually going round in circles. And there we go. People are actually going to get on things from Leeds to Skipton and then Skipton to Leeds and all of that in that order. Which is nice, because they need to. I didn't build those bloody railway lines for nothing. Okay, the amount of steel we're actually moving is getting a little bit insane now. Like, good gravy. Good God. Oh, my lord. Okay. Yeah, we need more steel. And we need to ship things. We need to actually ship them to places. Thirsk actually has a demand for it, but I don't have a line through to Thirsk, sadly. York was the easiest stretch. Actually, to be fair, if I'm judging this correctly, yeah, traffic is being sent through to Selby. It's just going via a very convoluted route to get there. And Thirsk doesn't actually take any goods traffic at all. We will get goods traffic into Thirsk, believe me, we absolutely will. But right now, I'm more interested in watching the new sets of passenger lines that I've built all come together. Especially because this makes the whole Leeds... This makes actually travelling from Leeds to Scarborough viable. You hop on the train to Thirsk, and then you change at Thirsk for the Scarborough service. And that gets you there. Oh, I forgot rule 1. It needs to be an exit signal immediately after both sides. So those trains that are waiting for clearance to go straight can go. Forgetting my own rules here, boys. Forgetting my own rules. Lovely. And the good lads who take the ferries, they like their ferries. And the trams. And everything else. And I don't know why there's this hill. I think I'm going to put something on this hill. Hang on. I don't know what I'm going to put on it. I'm going to put something. Do we put it? Do we put it? Do we put it? Do we put it? Do we call this? Do we call this Crampton Mountain? As funny as that is, no. Okay, what else have we got? What else have we got? Oh, okay. Japanese electric locomotives? No. A generic boat? We could make a generic boat. It would be fairly funny. Maybe. Maybe. Dan's house. Oh, Titfield Thunderbolt. I could put a thing on there. That would be very funny. That would be funny, but no. I need something that fits. A tartar tram? No, no, no. As funny as that would be, no. A rock? A big rock? Oh yes, that is what we're gonna do. Gentlemen, I give you the world's shittest lighthouse. Oh my god. Oh dear. Oh, that is funny. Okay, Lincoln has a fairly substantial knot of people who want to go to the railway station but can't get. That means it's time for omnibuses. Even if the rest of them don't carry people, it's because that little bit there needs clearing. And Doncaster is full, but, well, Doncaster's not full, actually. It's just got a decent amount of people on all its platforms, which is good. How are we doing further north? Yeah, it's always good to check on your network as you go. Okay, there actually are a good amount of people who want to take the Leeds to Thirsk line. In fact, there's actually more people who want to take the Leeds to Thirsk line than the Leeds to Thirsk line is actually set up to carry. So we may need to add additional coaching stock. Let's have a look. Northallerton. Northallerton Station's doing fine. No problems at all. Darlington Station. Fine. Absolutely fine. I mean, just no problems at all. Like, the branch line trains, both of them are doing absolutely fine. Bishop's Auckland. Fine. Little branch line railway with, you know, little branch line railway vibes. No problems at all. Durham, mainline station, no problems, and the main line obviously doesn't really hit anything. Then from Durham through to Newcastle. Newcastle, trackage waiting for the Sunderland, Hartlepool, Middlesbrough, Northallerton Railway, but that's not been built yet, so that's fine. It's also the section for the branch line through Morpeth. Morpeth, fine. Train numbers are as expected. Then you've also got the branch up to Hexham, which is doing absolutely fine. Just about breaking even, which is fine. That's all it needs to do. The very busy station at Alnwick, where you have people boarding the express trains to go to Edinburgh Waverley. Good lord, so many people want to go to Edinburgh Waverley. I had hoped there would be some spillover onto the regular services, but doesn't look like it. So then carry on through. Dunbar, really quiet. North Berwick, really quiet. Musselburgh, I think that's how you pronounce that. Again, quiet. And then Edinburgh Waverley. End point of the East Coast Main Line. Of course, not the end point of the map. We'll have to cross over here and then push through further north into Scotland. Well, we're already in Scotland, but you know what I mean. There's a lot here to think about. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with the way the network's turned out. Very pleased. I mean, what a decade the 1850s has been. The 1840s saw us actually complete the East Coast Main Line from London to Edinburgh. The 1850s has seen us complete a lot of the secondary lines. Which has fleshed out a large chunk of the network in a way that was absolutely needed. And provided lots of extra connections that were very, very sorely needed. Wow, Cambridge needs better buses. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. It's just nice to sometimes just have a look around and watch the map develop. Watch the railway lines that you've built come to fruition. Watch everything just develop. I mean, especially down here. I mean, look at the interchanges. I mean, Hatfield and Enfield, like each of these three are now interchange stations, and so is London. Like, that's 4 towns that have interchanges. All like the people in Enfield can go to any of their nearby towns directly, which is something I don't think any of the other people have, apart from maybe the people of Skipton. So they should feel honoured. Grateful, even. But yeah, as we close down this decade, it's been a hell of a decade. I'm glad for those of you who've been here with me. It's very nice to actually have you here with me. I hope you're enjoying watching me fumble through this as much as I'm enjoying fumbling through it. Because I absolutely am. And London is growing. I am tempted to actually start working fast-fitted freight trains down to London from Scarborough. Get some of the... Yeah, that's a very good way, actually, to finish the session. Get that set up, because those will actually be able to match speed with the regular passenger trains. But it's a very good way to actually bring in some additional revenue. I mean, this is going to be London's main freight station, so it needs to have... There we go. Perfect. The most important thing to do is the close-in signaling's been done, hasn't it? Not here. Yeah, that needs doing here. That needs absolutely doing here. I'm talking about one of the in fact, arguably the longest freight run I've ever attempted. There. So, the next thing to do is to actually get it set up. So, these will have to be incredibly quick trains. Very quick indeed. Luckily, the mod actually includes some provision for this. With the express freight. So, how this works. 2 222s. And the mail and express wagons, which we can actually use for this because we are actually carrying express freight, in this case food, perishables. And not only are we talking about transshipment of stuff to London, eventually I hope to actually use this as a sort of a marshalling yard to then enable the transshipment of other foods. So in particular we could run a good service from there to Hatfield. In fact, it will be very easy to do so without blocking up the rest of the network. In fact, it could even be done without blocking off the rest of the other networks either. Of course, we need to establish the network first and get it up and running before we do any of that. There we go. Set that up. And that will be, I reckon, about 8 horse-drawn carriages. And, oh, I mustn't forget the most important thing. Before I do anything else, I need to ensure that I have unbunched. Especially at both ends, especially with the length of the working. Apparently that is timetabled. That is actually timetabled to take 30 minutes. Which is... That's actually not that bad given the journey it has to do. And shows you how much difference the higher speeds of the freight wagons can actually make. Having that be timetabled for a 60-minute run is very good innings by anyone's metric. It is, however, very important that we establish... oh, what's the word? More feeder services down here as well. There we go. Even if they are just smaller... Even if they are smaller, it's still worthwhile to do. So then that actually draws more down the main line in terms of throughput. Which is very useful indeed. And it allows me to have an excuse to funnel yet more grain to Scarborough Grain Plant, which is something I have been wanting to do for some time now. There we go. There we go. Farm mate. There we go. And then that bridge links into there like that. Beautiful. And then we'll have a depot here just because it's easier. I don't have to worry about... I don't like to build depots unnecessarily, but yeah, not having this here would be a bad idea. There we go. Do that. Perfect. And there we go. So again, heavy freight, so 2 of these. Just because of the weight of the train, you really do need it. Probably move about 150 capacity. There we go. Looking pretty in pink, boys. Looking pretty in pink. There we go. And of course, that does need to be timetabled, but only at one end. Only at the Thirsk West end. There we go. Hang on a minute. Oh, I've got the wrong one. No, I don't. Do I? No, I don't have the wrong wagons. Yeah, but these can't carry steel. I think something's gone a bit skew-if with the trains here. Yeah, something has gone definitely skew-if with the trains here. Yeah, I'm dealing with that before I do anything else. There we go. Hopper wagon. Carrying about 140 capacity. Oh, I used the wrong thing. No wonder it wasn't picking up there we go. No wonder it wasn't actually sending any grain out. That explains a lot. There we go. Done that. Brilliant. There's the southbound working. Perfect. It's all a bit hectic on the network. But so far, everything is going reasonably all right. A lot of the branch line trains have been built. All the services are running fine. Lovely, lovely. And we're approaching the end of our time here as we come up to December 31st, 1860. I mean, good lord, what we have achieved. What we have achieved today. We've done really well this decade. We really have over the course of the last stream and then a video and then another stream. Of course, tomorrow we move into the 1860s and see how far we get there. It'll be interesting to see just how well we do, or don't do. To be fair, we seem to have actually reached a profitable plateau. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to cause our network to keel over sideways and collapse. And it's January 1st, 1816. Oh, look at that! That is what we have been waiting for a very, very long time. That is heavy freight traction. That is what we've been waiting for a very long time to work a lot of the heavier freight trains. Beautiful. And on that beautiful arrival onto the fleet, it is time to end. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you all for being here. Take care, and I hope you all have a fantastic time. Bye-bye!